So here are some insights on the first form, Siu Nim Tao. This stance is called Yi Ji Kim Yong Ma, but we just say neutral stance. So you open the form up, define your center line, and when you punch, make sure that your forearm covers the center line to occupy the line of attack. Then you do a Hyun Sao, Lao Sao, elbow back. Your fist should be at least 2 fingers off your body. The tan goes up, and your nose should be in line with the bend of your wrist. The Fuk Sao goes out and forward. Forming a diagonal path away from your center. Now, while I'm using my left hand, I'm also focusing on my right hand by keeping it 2 fingers off my body. Some people do the form and have their opposite hand resting, so they're only using one side of their brain. Wing Chun trains you to use both hemispheres of your brain. The left side of your brain controls the right side of your body and vice versa. So as I'm using my right hand, my left fist is off my body. So the right side of my brain has to focus on that hand. That's really important in Wing Chun. This stance, I'm also pinching in as if I had a ball between my knees. And the Wu Sao, you want the first joint of your thumb parallel to the tip of your nose so that you can block anything coming laterally to your jawbone or to your cheekbone. Gum Saos. Now, this part of the form, we strike to the rib cage. You can do it to the face if you want to. Notice when I do the Gang Sao that my wrist doesn't come past my solar plexus. Bong lifts up. It doesn't go on top of the arm. It goes underneath an opponent's limb. And these are releases from a grab. You wouldn't do them standing there for real. You would step back in real life. Now, Sifu Ryan Kennedy is going to do it from the side view. Heisik, elbow to the rear, keeping his forearms up and high. That's done to restrict movement of your chest. It forces you to breathe from your abdomen. You want to do diaphragmatic breathing, breathing from the abdomen as opposed to thoracic breathing. The Tan spreads out. He does a Lao Sao or Hyun Sao. And notice how his Wu is covering this face. Now, some styles of Wing Chun do the Wu in the center, and that's not wrong, but that's not how we do it in our lineage. Some people call those 3 Wu Saos Sam Bai Fa, 3 times praying to Buddha. His Fuk Sao should go a little bit more level to the ground, but that's still okay. Wan Pak. It's a side. Sorry, my mistake. That's a Toi Pak, pushing Pak. So the Wu Sao is trained pulling back, but it's applied going forward. So remember, Toi Pak is pushing, Wan Pak is side. So after he finishes the third Wu Sao, he's going to do a Toi Pak. There's the Toi Pak. Gam Saos, these are for blocking kicks. That's for a strike to the rear, obviously. Now that's the one Pak, the side Pak. One Pak can strike to the floating rib. Gan, Tan, Gan. Tan, Gan, Tan. Bong Sao lifting up, strike to the rib. Bong Sao lifting up, strike to the rib. Now I'm going to explain some of the applications in the movements. I'll start off first with the punch. After you punch, you do a Lao Sao to slip around. Oh, let me get to this as well. We don't do a vertical fist. Our fist is diagonal. It ergonomically fits the side of the jawline and the rib cage. And when you do a diagonal fist, your elbow covers the line more. Your elbow is in more. So here we are with the first punch. This is just a static demonstration. I punch, he slaps my hand away, I circle around and check. Because I'm not going to argue strength. If he slaps my hand to the side, I let it go. So he pocks, I circle around. Now if you do the Hyun Sao, you can't do that. You have to do a Lao slipping hand or leaking hand. A Hyun Sao would stay in a fixed point. I punch, he pocks, I circle around. As you get more advanced, we'll do it more dynamically with the person moving around, weaving and bobbing. Right now you have to start from someplace, do it with a cooperating opponent who's just standing there for a while. Now the Tan. Tan means to spread or disperse. So when he punches, I want to disperse the force of his blow. And I want the bend of my wrist parallel to the tip of my nose because I'm blocking with my forearm and not my hand. A lot of people think we're blocking with the hand when they see this high Tan. It's the forearm. So if you didn't have a hand, the block would still work. So the Wu. So Wu is trained pulling back, but it's applied pushing forward. So it's covering any attack lateral to my zygomatic bone or cheekbone. So I'm using the Wu Sao to block on the yin side of his arm. Hopefully I'll hurt him as he punches. If he punches really hard, my Wu Sao going forward will hit the muscles on the inside of his arm to discourage him from punching again. So here I'm showing Sifu Ryan that the Wu should be a little higher because he was punching a little low. But if he punches lower, I have to follow him. But to demonstrate it, I wanted him to punch to my cheekbone so I could show you the position of the thumb being in front of my nose, in my center line. So he's doing the round punch from different angles. Okay. So here's one example of how to use a Hyun Sao. So Hyun is circling, and it's used to move the arm from one side to the other. So he's going to do a high punch. And a good example is me doing a double gang or seong gang. Use the top hand as a lan sao, turn his arm around to my opposite side. And I use the wrist to bring his arm down in front of me, which shortens the length of his arm. And then I check and strike. So when you're doing the double gong, you're also covering the middle gate. One hand covers the upper gate, one hand covers the middle gate. So now I'm showing you the section after the Wu Saos, and you do the Toi Pak, pushing Pak, and then palm strike. So what's happening is here is he punches, I make contact. As he pulls his hand back, I follow it. Stay with what comes, follow what goes. Now right here he's doing it slow and in control. Later on, you can do it faster. The faster he pulls his hand back, like in a jab, the faster I go forward. And as I do it, I go offline in case I miss. So if he pulls his hand back fast, I strike. Pak and palm strike. Pak, palm strike. Using the rear hand to check just in case. This can also be done from a front stance. This is very basic what we're showing here. Now this is the Gam Saos. When you're facing square, you Gam Sao in front of your body, diagonally, not to your side. Because the kick is coming, I cover the path of the kick, move offline, and do some work from there, whatever I do. If his hand is still there, I pak. If he throws a round punch, I'll bu or whatever. Right now, he's just cooperating. Now, he can kick, throw a round punch. He can kick and throw a straight punch. He can kick with one leg and punch with the other hand. This is just a drill. Now, one application of the bear hug from behind. I step forward, hit my opponent with the round of my back to knock the breath out of him, hit him on the groin, allowing me to circle around, and then sweep up to throw him off balance. Now, I can do this from a Seipeng Ma, a low horse stance, but in this instance, I didn't do it. So Sifu Ryan's reading the notes. So I guess now we're working on the Fak Sao, or the side palm. This is actually the side palm, not a Fak. Pak Chun, side palm. Chun Sao means threading. So my hand goes underneath and I hit to the face. Pak, thread, side palm. Hit to the side of the jaw, the philtrum, the collarbone, the carotid artery, or the larynx, wherever he's facing. Whatever target that's available, you strike. I can also do that Pak Chun and change that Chun into a Bu-Ji before I do the lap. Pak Chun Bu-Ji. I did a side palm there, but you have variations. You can do a Bu-Ji or a side palm, or a punch, whatever happens. This is just to give a beginning student some ideas as to what's going on in the form. So in the form, you have the double juts and the double Bu-Jis. In combat, it's only one, jut, and then Bu to the eye, or the side of the neck. Finger jabs are used to soft parts of the body. You have to be really careful that you don't hit the skull with the fingers. So you have to be very accurate. So now this is the Gam Sao and Dan Sao. Dan means to bounce off or repel. Now since he's throwing a straight punch after the kick, I'm doing the Dan Sao going vertical. If he were to throw a round punch, I would do the Dan Sao outwards. So it would almost look like the crane stance in the Karate Kid movies. So now is the one pak, the side pak. So in the form, when you're stationary, you side pak, and then you strike to the rib cage. So here I'm just doing the side pak and a strike, but I could also side pak, strike, and then hit with the pocking hand to the rib cage. I'm not sure if I showed that in this video because this was a while back and I forgot what we did here. So I'm kind of ad-libbing as I watch. Gang Sao. So the lower Gang Sao, the mid-level Gang, is in the middle. It's in your center line. So I turn to face the point of contact. Now when you're doing it basically, you just stand there. But in reality, he's going to be punching through my body, so I let his arm go by. I make contact and let it go by. Ideally, you would step back. So the person thinks they've hit you because they're pushing through and their hand goes straight past you. So that's a way for a beginner to learn the position, and then that's how it's really applied. So it's done really fast. So their arm just swooshes past your body. So Bong Sao. Now the Bong Sao, the elbow should be higher to the wrist. My right Bong Sao isn't proper because I have a shoulder issue. So it's almost parallel like a lan. But if you're doing it correctly, my elbow should be higher than the wrist. Now this is just one application for a straight punch. I do the tan, check, and strike. Now I'm striking to his rib cage. I could also do that palm high. It doesn't have to be low. I'm just trying to show you how it's done in the form. See right there, I did it high. Now this Bong Sao is a little better. I can bring my elbow up on this one. Bong and check. Now the last section is against a grab. Someone grabs you, you step back, strike them around the thumb area to make them release you. If he grabs my left arm, I step back with the left leg. So I'm using my whole body to get out of the grab. Now there are parallel grabs and cross arm grabs. Parallel arm grabs and cross arm grabs. This is one way to get out of it. When I do this, I turn my palm up to go against his weakest part of his grip, which is the thumb and the index finger. If I keep my palm down, he'll have something to hold on to, and I won't be able to get out as easily. That strike coming down, it should be hard to hurt his arm.